Do not go out of this world without discovering the core reality of that operating you. Do not carry it away by the campaign that you fulfill your existence by living according to the norms and the conditions of the society around. Of course, as you work, you get the money, you do whatever. You buy Mercedes Benz or all these things. But that's all extra things. They are all nothing. They are like your clothes. Okay, have good clothes, no problem. So thou art that. And once again I am warning you, you will not come across a solid a plus b the whole squared is equal to. And you will be sure about what you will discover when your attention is able to touch the peripheries of the vertebral column. Peripheries is enough, because there is a powerful electrical flow available just 1 millimeter inside. And that electrical current only is driving your attention to it. So you take a little step on those. You take a few pedals on the bicycle. Sincerely, like that genuine childhood driven interest of that young boy to take a cycle whenever it gets an opportunity. That should be the inspiration. That should be the inspiration. You know, I am really surprised. How can human beings be so comfortable without ever making an exploration into that which is doing all the things? How can human beings be so systematically, so clearly, so convincingly conditioned to believe that they are all living their life as full meaning? They are just tools, they are just workers, coolies at a higher level. Nothing, I am not humiliating them. Okay, do it. We need food. We cannot, like in the past, we cannot go around and collect food from the forest. We cannot do what Buddha said also. At Buddha's time, you go around, people will give you food. Now that is not possible. So that also is good. I am against all these so-called gurus. If they had the bloody guts, this so-called Sadguru and Sri Sri Ravi Shankar and Amardhanamayi and Ramdev and all those big fellows, they should be at least sitting in one of the offices of the Indian Railways at least for a week. Then they have to say, I am in complete bliss. They also should show the people that we are also like you, human being, capable of working, wearing the normal uniform of a workshop technician. They are all giving a real bad model to the people. Absolutely mistaken, absolutely misleading model to the people, including the Buddhas and the Vivekanandas and the Ramakrishna Paramahamsa and whoever. They have done a great damage. They have defeated their own ideology. Oh, of course. These are the kind of exemplifications and extensions into various orbits of understanding you have to develop. That's why it's also told God is love. Love, not the word love, the referent of love. What do we name as love? Now we have to have a series of sessions on referent perception. We are all simply duplicating words available in the environment. We are all, my dear friends, go back to the childhood. almost every piece of every word and its examples are fed into us, induced into us, enforced into us. Everybody is using the word love. They are all carried away by the word love. Between husbands and wives or between lovers, there is some disputes about something. The girl feels you don't love me. The man says I love you. Nobody knows what is love. The referent of that thing called love. Like the pencil, that wooden thing is called a pencil. What is that thing named love? It is an affinity. It is full sincerity. It is full dedication. It is full unconditional linkage. Like Anirudh said now, look at your own body with what kind of a sincerity, with what kind of a dedication, with what kind of a commitment every cell membrane, every cell particle is doing its function. Even when it is intimidated with the toxic materials. That is called love. Not sexual intercourse. That is the ultimate of love for most of the human idiots. It is unconditional attention to the details of the other. Like the heart, like the lungs, like the intestines, like every cell membrane. What is the commitment of the cell membrane to its contents, for example? Like Vinay explained so picturesquely as well as theoretically, impeccably. And see, which other cell, when we talk about that, which part of the world, which blade of grass, which leaf, which plant, which tree, which object is not without that love? Is there a correct blade of grass? When every other thing in this world is functioning so impeccably with so-called love, see the predicament of that poor little puny fellow called a human being. If you love me, I love you. What is love? Nobody knows. If you give me a birthday cake, you love me. If you buy me a Kanjivaram saree on my birthday, you love me. If you hug me, you love me. If you kiss me, you love me. Otherwise, no love. That's why I said that jnana timirandasya. You are all blinded by what is the English for timiram? Timiram is no. Timiram is in Ayurveda. It's the name of an illness by which eyes become blind. Something more than cataract. Perhaps it is the lens becoming completely opaque, something like that. Oh, I see. In real cataract, completely, what is that which makes the blind, completely the retina, completely blind, an illness of the eyes? That is called timiram. Oh, I see. Anyway. Quite possible. Because timiram is a screen coming, right? That is timiram. That's beautiful. Because it's only cloudiness. It has to be removed. It can be removed. It can be resolved. It can be dissolved into absolute transparency. That's why the continuity. Ajnana timirandasya. Ajnana timirandasya. Jnananjana salagaya chakshurunmilidam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. What is a guru? Ajnana timirandasya. Jnananjana salaga. Salaga meaning a piece of tool with which anjanam, that means surma, kajal. The surma of wisdom. Whoever is using that tool, applying that surma on the eyes by which the timiram, the blindness is removed, that is the guru. So cataract is correct. It's only a cloud, definitely. The other day, Anu sent me a mail saying that every child is born a genius. In one way, that is right, or a potential genius. Definitely, every child is never born a genius in the sense of the word genius, in its manifestations. So, into that beautiful, pristine eyes, clouds and clouds and clouds, cataracts and cataracts, several layers of cataracts are imposed, intimidatingly imposed by the environment. When every child, if you accept that publicly announced notion that every child is born a genius, my dear Anirudh, who the hell are taking care of that genius? What is the eligibility and the qualification of the parents to train that genius? Yeah, zero. That's all. That's all. Finished. They give a stupid name and do all kinds of physical intimidations onto the child, and once the child is learned the language, it has been given all kinds of contradictory images, including asking, do you love me more or the mother? Or you love father more or mother more? Hatred and all these ideas are embedded into that. These are things which are commonly known. Nothing, we don't have to talk about all these things.
It's 23:30.
Finally, every one of you has to become a genius, that's all. Like genius in physics, genius in medicine, genius in management, genius in philosophy, genius in chemistry, who knows everything about chemistry. Like you have to know everything about the you and the you in you. That's all. That's called a genius himself. And then and that is the greatest, I would declare to the entire world. I don't care whether they listen or not. Because through the gateless gates of that self, you can enter the self of the very universe. That is why. Nothing else matters. There may be other problems of the societal world. Okay? Times of money, times of no money, times of employment, times of no employment, disturbance from other people. Okay, they are all so-called operating terrains of this world. But that central tendency, that central force must be maintained at any cost. Every moment is an opportunity for that. Every event is an opportunity for that. Every feeling is an opportunity for that. Every emotion is an opportunity by that. Every expression, every doing is an opportunity for that. Because every doing, every emotion, every thought, everything is actually generated by the autonomic nervous system. Just the cells of the neurons. And that neuronal structure, see, neurons are connected, I think the diagram is taken out, are connected to the mouth and the vocal cord and other regions of the body, and that talking, sounding thing, that talking, sounding, doing of the body is trained by the people around. A human child, as it grows up, its talking engines are trained. Because the talking involves the coordinated function of the respiration, of the movement of the vocal cord, and impulses, mental impressions registered. The word exists in that language, in that sound only. The word for, we don't know how the deaf man's word we cannot interview. That's a feeling-based word. That's all academic discussion. Anyway, we are not deaf or blind. So, our world exists in that sounding mechanism only. And that is so perpetually operating. That is why. That's the wonder behind one of the practices called Mauna Vratam. Absolute silence, not just stopping talking to other people. Like our attention should go from the peripheries of the body gradually to the central spinal cord. Similarly, our attention should gradually get out of all the internal dialoguing, internal talking, and go to that, that rudimentary stage of language about to be produced. Like our attention reaches the spinal cord of the physical flesh blood body, our attention should capture and tie down the ongoing thought process and finally put it down and just get to that point where the thoughts just originate. Then you will know that the entire world is maintained in a language, an internal language, constantly interpreting the sensations from outside. And constantly, because of the practice of that from early childhood onwards, there is a consistent flow of internal language also, till the moment of your entry into sleep. Other than that, in that constant flow of language, the so-called person is maintained. Sundararajan is maintained, Anirudh is maintained, Vinay is maintained, Naveen is maintained, Mantrarishtika is maintained, Veena is maintained, Sara is maintained, Amaya is maintained, Ganesh is maintained, Krishnabila is maintained by that running language. Alter that running language, get control over that running language. Of course, you don't have to change your identity as a social being. That's when you reach that nobodiness of you. The Zen calls the no mind, the mind of the no mind, the nobodiness. Get into that nobodiness. Don't be afraid of it. By becoming a nobody, don't worry, you will not detach from your wife and children and all that. No. Lot of people, I understand, there is a hidden fear which we discussed some time back. There is a hidden anxiety that you will lose contact with the world. Not at all. That's again because of an indirect learning, vicarious learning by seeing those beggars who walk around in the form of mystics and sages who are unmarried and who talk about detachment and all those bullshit. Of course, what they say is also a way. Because for the ordinary minds, in order to reach this level, they have to be cut off from all these things. That's why they talk about it. That is why they talk about it. And that they should tell the people that we are having this dress and appearance and moving around like this because this is our job. I have taken this as my profession. Jaggi Vasudev must announce to the world, I have taken this as my profession. Therefore I dress up like this and talk like this. If I remove my dress and I put a jeans and shirt and walk on the road, nobody will even look at me. Because human beings are all very high intelligence, very high sensitivity system. Without being told, they learn a lot of things. They think that when you are in tune, when you achieve the yoga with the operating principle, you will be like them. You can be still working as a clerk in the railway station. Of course, there will be little things also. Like you will not do any nonsense like everybody else does. You will not be easily purchased by anybody. Those kind of problems are there though, little bit. You cannot be simply influenced by anybody. You cannot be remote controlled by anybody. You cannot be directly controlled by anybody. Of course, I am not talking about the work-related control, but behavioral control. It won't be easy to win over you. And when you come near, everybody will have a problem to interact with you. Though they may say it or not. That will be there. Because when the iron is hot, it is hot. Nobody can easily touch it. You become iron hot. You will become a burning flame. So you will have much less friends. People will be uncomfortable with you. People may try to abandon you or trouble you and all that if you are working. And that is there, no doubt. You won't be able to participate in the gimmicks and the unethical techniques of everybody. That is there. So you are that autonomic electrical field. It is autonomic. It must be autonomic because every time you think about a situation where you have to consciously do respiration, you will die without. So that respiration part is whenever you do not do it consciously, like when you are smoking, the system will take care of it. By the way, to cut a joke in between, a lot of thinking individuals will tend to smoke. A lot of smoking individuals tend to think because smoking is an indirect form of pranayama only. So, forget about the word pranayama. Every day as you go down to sleep, experiment with your respiration, identify the what is that which is taking the control of respiration out of you. You are trying to control, then at some point of time, the other pedal is taken by the other entity, You are pressing on one pedal for some time, then you see that the other pedal is forcing it in the another side of rotation. So, do that. Every moment of you doing that, you become closer and closer to that entity, out of which nothing very manifested, clear revelation may not be there. There will be moments of surprise that you will do things which you normally do not do. You will understand everything. There will be nothing that is impossible for you. When you try, you will just like that know the truths. That is what we call a mystic, the one who knows truth intuitively. Like the ancient rishis, they knew everything intuitively. They just knew when they focused their attention on something, they just knew it. That engine is there within every one of us also. But it has been trained to subdue all those processes and learn everything and reproduce everything. That is what is required. And from childhood onwards, that has been rigorously trained. That is why. Like a Tamilian talks Tamil because it is trained from childhood. Similarly, all our expressions and responses and behaviors and ways of relating with entities and things and people and phenomena and our ways of relationship and our languages and our logics are ridiculously trained by the environment. Understand that. Some of them may be valuable. And discern, you will develop the ability to discern, differentiate what is really the truth, what is really the required, what is really the correct, what is really the right, and what is really the good. Like a cell membrane, that's why I wanted cell membrane, which is capable of identifying what is true for it and what is not true for that. And it rigorously manages it. Do it. If you want to become the genius himself, and it is something very wonderful, automatically, because of the pleasure principle, because of the fundamental principle of the creature. Every creature, it's starting with the so-called protozoa and amoeba, they are all moving towards the comfortable, the pleasurable. Pleasure is again a word. Sigmund Freud only talked about pleasure principle, pleasure-pain principle. That entity has that inclination, that predilection for that so-called happiness, so-called joy, so-called that pleasing positive state. And this is the ultimate positive state without any effort. And whatever problems there could be for other people may perceive problems for you, but you will not feel that. You will be simply joyful. Because that is the primary state of the organism. That is the primary state of the heart, the lungs, the liver, the kidneys, the vertebral column. It has no, the cell does not have any depression or anything like that. multiple cells put into wrong electrical impulses will generate a confusion, a chaotic electrical distribution across the organs, and that is being perceived, that is being sensed as a problem, sensed as depression, sensed as anger, sensed as hatred, sensed as whatever. Oh, all by conditioning only. So physically, you are that autonomic nervous system generating electrical field all around the body till the tip of the skin. Because you talk, do not get detached from that. The only gap between your attention or your awareness or your intent and the truth is that running dialogues in between. When the attention is in close contact with that, that is called the real yoga. And any other yoga is trying for that only, though they may use different languages to talk about it. Then you will feel one with the plants and the trees and the surroundings. Somebody may talk entire world and all that. There is no entire world. Your world is your surrounding. Wherever you is at any given point of time, which we discussed some time back. Yeah, yes. Any questions, Mandra Rishika? In the next part, we will discuss. When you are in tune with your autonomic nervous system, you will become absolutely powerful with all the immunities. Yes. There is the raga, the roga, all the variations of the body process, all the emotional problems, they are all due to faulty, falsely trained emotional responses and expressions and behaviors and doings and relationship with and other people and the languages running inside. When there is no self-awareness, anybody else's language can simply intimidate you. Otherwise, why there should be any emotions? All emotional turbulence are induced by other people. And all emotions, we will come to that, all emotions are generated by the what you call eccentrically opposite functions of the various glandular systems. Eccentrically mutually fusing functions by the generation of impulses from the parasympathetic and the sympathetic system. And this is technical knowledge. So control this. Never eat unnecessarily too much, putting load onto the intestinal supply of autonomic nervous system. Never get exposed to wrong people, wrong people's dialogues and interactions, because that will be heard and seen by your brain, and impulses will go down the brain, the parasympathetic system, and the heart will be put under pressure. You may suppress it. You may, because of your culture, your other learnings and conditionings and trainings and all those things, you may manage it. But nevertheless, impulses go to because that is a physical machine. Impulses go down to the heart, to the liver, to the intestine. That is the most tragical portion. Intestine. Because basically every creature is nothing but an intestinal canal. Every creature in the world is nothing but an intestinal canal from mouth to the rectum. The earthwork, primarily an earthwork. The human being is an advanced earthwork with a huge brain to think and huge limbs and hands and other paraphernalia. That's all. And most of this emotional turbulence go and affect the intestinal process, the digestion process. If it is heart, it is okay. If it is lungs, it is okay. It will be managed. But it all affects the functions of the intestinal system. And all major so-called physical illnesses of the body, even mental illnesses, all begin with the turbulence applied on the 20-25 feet long small intestine and another whatever 12 feet or whatever long large intestine, which is in the comfortable process of generating energy. That's why some traditions call food as prasadam offered to the deity. Food as prasadam offered to the deity. Because it is nothing but a piece of God of the universe. Food is the only main thing that goes into that. Never fool around with food. Main thing is never and never overeat. What? Two, even if you overeat, whatever food that you take it with an attention. Attention is the governing central point, I told you. Take it with a reverent attention. That is the thing that is going into your body. Just imagine. Digestive system, somebody was about to tell you, almost all of you know. So how you are loving gratitude, all the wonderful feelings that you may apply when you are in front of a temple or a mosque or a church, apply that feeling and look at the food that goes into your body as offering to the deity. But the majority of human beings, we don't have to talk about them. You should have the confidence to believe that you are the deity. That is your responsibility. If a stone piece over there can be considered a deity, if a plaster of Paris image can be considered as the bloody God, why can't you consider that living flesh and blood body of the you as the deity? What is the problem? You want 20,000 people to follow you and touch your feet, then only you are a piece of deity? That is the false learning. Because you don't do any so-called miracles around the world, that's why you are not a deity. Anyway, that's all explanations about why you should have an absolute gratefulness and worshipfulness and all kinds of whatever attitude you can bring in when you feed that creature. Do not take it for granted because it is under your control. You did not create that body. It is a creation of the marvelous nature process. A simple, plain truth. Because it is so silently moving around to whatever you do, just do not take it for granted. You will know the value of it only at the moment of your death. That will be too late. Establish these ideas in your mind, these truths. Verify it over yourself. Don't take it because it is told, I told you. And I tell you all these things because I have directly verified everything that I say. And I am very sure nobody in the world can refute what I said. Nobody. Not even Jesus or Buddha or Krishna. Not even Upanishad people, not even Zen masters, nobody. Not even Patanjali can refute what I said. I am that is nothing very philosophical, mysterious, other thing. You are that body sitting there right now. That body is in the peripherals of the electrical distribution system of that spinal cord and the brain. So called, so named. Don't see them through the words brain, spinal cord, etc. see that pencils, see that, that truth, that fact, that organic truth that is right now sitting there. That is the you. You is not some metaphysical other thing. If you don't believe that, then you discover the real you. Don't exist in between. Don't exist like everybody else on the road. And when you do that, the entire nature process forces will be with you. Never it is a selfish, it is a achievement motivation only. In that sense, otherwise, great majority of people are better than the geniuses. They are happy with the little things and the cars and the bank balances and the good house and all that. The mystics are really greedy people. They are not comfortable with public truths. They want to discover their own truth. They are very arrogant. Yeah. Yeah. Let us put a pause to stop. Okay? Because we are touching a fundamental topic of humanity since the beginning of awareness. Not for humanity, sorry, for the greatest minds in the world. Starting with Socrates and Plato and Aristotle in the West. Okay. And of recent times, and great ancient mystics of India, and the great Zen masters. Only they are interested in all these things. Only they can be interested in all this. Only they are eligible to be interested in all this. Only they have the competency to be interested in all these things. And you are all competent. Apply that competency to discover the truths of your existence. Rather than continuing to live by the remote control, duplicated knowings. That is useful in your work. To make money. The more critical thing is, who is living by making this money? You know? Alright.
It's 0 hours.
Alright Vinay, alright Naveen, alright Androd, alright Mandra Shriga, alright Veena, alright Sara, alright Amaya, alright Ganesh, alright Krishnabal. Bye. 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 Bye.